Hi. This is the first time to use YouTube. Oh my goodness, I really hate the landscape format. I'm not used to this. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Jessica TV. It's weird being on YouTube. I don't know if I like it. So, this is my first YouTube live. Welcome. 皆さん、初めての YouTube の配信です。いつもね、インスタグラムばっかり。I'm always on Instagram. なので、縦画面。I have it's always the screen is, portrait is what I'm used to when I'm doing my live. So it's weird to have it so just let me I need to adjust it a little bit. So I have my phone here, so I'm going to be looking at the chat. I guess it's coming up here on the side. Yeah. Oh, okay. How do I get rid of this? So we have chat here. Hi from the West Coast. Hello. Hi, Glenn-san. So yeah, sorry. You have part of my closet here in the shot as well. I haven't really thought this through. I need to move back a little bit. Oh, well tried. Happy to see this. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, so just to let you know, I've been trying to, Jim in the comments, he said, turn on super chat. So I quickly Googled it because I was like, what is that? I don't think I'm eligible. And, you can purchase likes and that kind of thing. And that would be so helpful. And I'd love that. But you have to have, watch hours, a certain amount of watch hours and subscribers. And so I still need a few more subscribers and I need more watch hours. So I need to post more content, which I know as well. So there's no monetization on this channel. But yeah, anyway, hello from Hong Kong. Hello, Jerome. Nice to see you. So the title of today's video is an unboxing. So let me find my box. It is this big. So I posted a video. Oh, thank you. Yes, you can't see. His head is up here. So he's very high. It's very high up. So I need to think out the layout of the camera and stuff a little bit more. ちょっとね、この横画面があんまりうまくいってない。クローゼットも映ってるし、兜も見えないしね。And I'm sitting on the floor. So yeah, anyway, so this is the box. これは今日の謎のパッケージです。そう、これぐらい大きい。わかんないね。でもその前に So before I open it, I just want to have a drink because it's Friday and I've had a week. Actually, I've had crazy 2 weeks. I've had a week, so I just want to say kanpai. I'm having some, this is a ready to drink from Made in New Zealand. So ニュージーランドのね、レモンユーズのチューハイです。ニュージーランドのチューハイ。日本で買える。楽天とかで買えるんだって。I love the flavor of yuzu. I don't know if you've tried it. Citrus flavor. It's so beautiful. Yuzu. I love it. Okay. So, please feel free to write comments. I will try to answer any questions you have. Yeah, people will be coming and going, and I'm going to be unboxing in a moment. But first of all, I posted a video on Instagram. So, Instagram のストーリーでこの動画を載せたんですよね。まだ見れると思います。So I was asking what do you think is inside? And なんだろう should I do a live or whatever? Anyway, so this is the box and these are the answers that I got. Actually, hold on a sec. So I'm just going to remember them. Some people were like, it's tanto or so a short sword. Is it a short sword? But it's not a short sword. It's not tanto or wakizashi or anything like that because I said it had a blade as a hint, right? ヒントでは刃がついてるものです。刃がついてる。そうだね。刃がついてるもの。そう担当だったりとか脇差しだったりですか？Somebody, a really clever person wrote it is a sushi knife for your sushi that you make. And I was like, oh, that's pretty creative. 寿司のナイフですか、寿司の包丁ではないかなっていう方もいらしたんですけど、寿司はね、刺身とかあんまり作れないです。はい。It's not a sushi knife, unfortunately. But yeah, so I had all these great people replying back to my story over on Instagram to say like what they thought it could be. And that's cool. I like that. It's awesome when you guys give me DMs and you like tell me what you think it is. The answers are always really interesting. Somebody said like, is it just the top part of like a naginata? Is it like the blade of a naginata or like, anyway, yeah, so creative. Thank you so much for people that replied to me. そのストーリーのお返事してくださった方、すごいなんかクリエイティブのアイディアばっかりで嬉しいです。いつもありがとうございます。それではですね、一つの今日は金曜日です。So it's like Friday in Japan and we are, what is it? It's 8:30 p.m. Obviously Japan time. 今日はね、すごく嬉しいことがありました。で、それだけちょっとそれについて話してから開けときたいなと思いますので、ちょっと話をさせてください。So I want to talk about something that happened to me today that I was really happy about it. And after I've talked about that, give me a couple minutes just to like, because it made me super happy. So I want to like share that with you guys. Then I'll open the box. So let me just もうちょっと下げるかな。You can like only see this much of my body, but I guess that's okay. So I went to my kyudo keiko today. So I went to my practice today, and there was a woman, a young woman. She was 18 or 19 years old, a university student who has been practicing kyudo for 4 years. So she's just joined our dojo. 19歳ぐらいの女子大生が今日ホームの所属道場にいらしたんですね。でその方は新入会員、新しいメンバーにこう入ったばっかりです。で女子大生でユミは4年ぐらい弾いてて初段だけど、まあ、4年ぐらい弾いてるからとても上手なんだって。And one of the dojo members said like she really wants to meet you. She knows you. Like she knows of you. And I was thinking like, wow, I wonder how she knows of me. Maybe she's seen me on like TV. So I do work on Japanese TV. So maybe she knows me from like the TV shows that I've been on in the past for Japanese TV. So I was thinking like, wow, I wonder how she knows me. And she came today. So that was really cool. I'm just gonna explain it in Japanese. で、彼女がジェシカのことを知ってるよっていうお話を伺いして、会いたいっていうお話だったのね。で、こう、なぜ私のことを知ってんのかなっていう、まあ、テレビなんじゃないのかなって2人でメンバー、その先輩の方と話してて、多分テレビで見て、ジェシカ分かったのかなっていう。で、今日は初めてお会いして、So I met her today, and it turns out that she's been following me on Instagram from whenever. And she figured out, because I post on my stories the picture of the target area and like the shooting area and stuff. She figured out, hey, it's the same dojo that I've just joined. And she's been following my Instagram for a little while, so I think it's so cool. Like she loves kyudo, and yeah, we just met today and she was super nice, and I'm really excited to have like a follower from my Instagram who is also like a Japanese university student, a really beautiful like Japanese woman, like come and we practiced together, and it was so cool. So I just wanted to share that with you. And yeah, she knew, she's been like following the Instagram, and she was, yeah, it was just a really positive, awesome thing to happen today on my Friday. So I wanted to share that. So 彼女は今日初めて会って、でなぜ私のことを知ってるのかなっていうで、インスタグラム以前からフォローしてるっていう話だったんですよね。なのでインスタグラムで やっぱストーリーを道場の様子とかアップしてると、あ、自分と同じ道場所属してるんだなっていう、まあいつかお会いするんじゃないのかなっていう、今日は初めて会った。たまたまかどうかわかんない。たまたま同じ道場に所属してきて、入会してきて、で、こう以前から私のインスタグラムをフォローしてるっていうお話をしてくださいました。So it was like really really happy. 結構ね、嬉しかったです。なんか今週は本当にいろいろ、先週からいろいろありすぎて、ちょっと心が重たくなってる、正直。So I've been having a really bad couple of weeks. And I don't post about it on Instagram or anywhere on YouTube or this kind of thing. But I was a little bit sick, and then recently my child, my youngest child, she went into hospital. So she's been in hospital for the last couple of days, and I haven't been able to see her. So it's been really hard because she stopped eating because of like being sick, throwing up and that kind of thing. So we were really worried about her. She didn't have a fever or anything like that, but yeah. So I took her to hospital and she's been in there for a couple of days and she still won't eat, but she has like an IV. But like today they decided to put a tube to help feed her. They put a tube in her nose, which is like super I have like feelings about it because it doesn't help, when little kids they get like a rejection of food and a fear of eating. ちょっと日本語すぐ説明しますけれど。So I have like a lot of kind of stuff happening, which is part of the reason why I did that Instagram post this morning. Sort of positive, make myself feel a little bit more positive. Yeah, so having this Japanese woman come to visit the dojo and she's joined the dojo just like really made me feel like super happy, and she's like, I love your Instagram and I follow you, and that sort of like really made me feel happy considering all the stuff that's happening at the moment in my life. So ちょっと日本語で説明すると、下の子供がちょっと調子が先週から悪くなってきて食事が取れなくなっちゃったんですよ。で、食事が取れなくなって数日で入院をして今入院してる。でも食事がね、Yeah, thank you so much. I hope she gets better soon. Thank you. 食事が取れなくなって数日で鼻のチューブを入れて食事を与えるようには今しているんですけど、すごく辛そうで会えないんですよね。今のところは来週までは会えないから、ちょっとなんかいろいろ辛すぎていろいろあって、先週と今週この日本人の女性と会って、ジェシカのインスタグラムを見てますっていうこうハッピーなことが起きてきて、とっても気分転換になった。So I was like super happy anyway. So that was just like, I've had a bad couple of weeks, but I had some like happy stuff. My friend opened his kyudo shop, and I don't know if you're following him on Instagram or Twitter, but Shuri. So his kyudo shop is so cool, and I went to visit with my kids. I'll post about it on my Instagram story, but it's a beautiful shop. So I have these happy things happening at the same time, but my private life is a bit of a mess at the moment. So anyway, let me have a drink and let's get into opening this box here. So yeah, I don't really post about my kids or like private stuff or like my personal life much on Instagram. But yeah, I don't know. It'll just be complaining, I think, most of the time. If I here's my knife. So I wanted to show you my Swiss Army knife. It's so cool. I love it so much. No. And then I got this from a recycle shop. I got it from online recycle shop. And I think the week that I bought it, I dropped it on the ground. I have to show it to you. I dropped it on the ground. And this edge broke off right here. I was so bummed out. I was like, oh my god, my cool knife. It has like so many attachments and cool stuff. I wanted a Swiss Army knife like this for so long, and I finally got it, and then I dropped it. Like, it's super heavy. But anyway, the knife still works fine. There's two knives. So we'll use this one. We'll use this one to open up. So here is my box. And yeah, while I'm opening, and I haven't opened this, so I hope it's what I think it is, because if it isn't, then this live is going to be kind of like a bit of a disaster. ね。こう多分合ってると思います。Okay, let's just try. Wow, there's a lot of packing in here, huh? So, okay, I'm gonna keep going. ちょっと待ってね。So yeah, some people were saying my the yoroi behind, you can't really see properly. You can only see his like stomach right now. But I'll put it up a little bit higher. You'll be able to see like up my nose. So it's an oyoroi and a katsu here. But what I'll do is I'll set up the camera further back because I'm in my room and it's a little bit small. So I'll set it up properly for YouTube. This is like, honestly, you're such a beginner just because you've never done YouTube before, obviously. YouTube Live beginner. Okay, so let me just cut. I know you can't see. Yeah, I need to get my opening skills a little bit better. Okay, so we have a lot of packing in here, so let's go. There's a lot of packing in here. Okay, oh, I can see it. How exciting. This is gonna make my Friday so happy. Okay, it goes up this way. Ta-da. What can you see? Okay, it's super like the ring light is like flashing so you can't tell. Right here, feathers. So let's take it out. Let's take it out. Here we go. Okay. Okay. So it is in a plastic bag, but already you can kind of see. Here we go. Okay. So, wow, this is so cool. Okay, so, what do you think? What do you guys think it is? 出てきたよ。何かわかります? So, here's the blade. I should probably put it this way around, huh? Here's the blade. Ta-da! And the size is like what? I should have measured it. About 50 centimeters, 60 centimeters or so. So my hand. So that's like, yeah, kind of gives you an idea. So we have beautiful feathers here. So we have four feathers. Two really large ones and two smaller ones right here. So that's kind of the traditional design. And the shaft is made of bamboo. And the blade. And here we have, let me just put this down here for a second. We have some string, like thick cord, which I'll explain what it's for soon. In the future, I'll do a post on Instagram. But does anybody know what this is? I think I've posted about it a little bit. My eyelashes are crazy. So yeah, this is an uchine. 皆さんわかりますかね? Uchine です。Uchine。ここが歯で、脳で、羽、はず、まあ矢尻というかな、歯かな. So these are the different parts. So I'm going to do a little bit of explaining. I did a little bit of research. So if you're still interested, now that you know what it is, you can go or you can stay and we can talk about the uchine. So I'm going to give it, where should I put it? Maybe I'll give it to my friend here. I'm going to take out his sword. It's got my little bag on there. And we wind the cord up and I'll stick it I don't think you'll be able to see it, but 見えないな。まあでも that's okay. So I put it here for now. Oh, it fell over. We put the cord. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, there we go. So there's a very special book that I want to show you. Being a parent is always a stressful and joyful experience at the same time. Hope she gets better soon. Thank you, Jim. Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah. So suddenly talking about like my private stuff when it's supposed to be a an unboxing. So apologies for that. But yeah. So behind me, here is the. I'll take it down. Some people are joining. こんばんは。もう箱から出したよ。So I put my book down for a second and I'll show because a couple new people joined. So this is a Uchine. Uchine. It looks like a big arrow, like a big fat arrow, right? Well, it's not. You can throw it. You can throw it and you can stab with it, but you don't use it in your bow. So I'll explain what it's for in a moment. But before ordering this, so I ordered this to be made. So it's difficult to find a place to get it. So うちにはね、あんまり買えないというか、お店ではあんまり売ったりしない。置物なんか、置物売ったりしますよね。So it's easy to find ornaments in Japan, but the blades are like made of plastic and they're just a symbol of protection for houses. But I wanted one that I could actually throw and like use without breaking. So, Uchine. And this book is by Eric Shahan. So I post about his books often. So, and this is going to be backwards. The screen is backwards. Can I flip the screen around? I'm so sorry. The screen is backwards. But it says Uchine. So this is Eric's book about Uchine. And Eric, Uchineの本です。日本語と英語になってる本なんですけど、エリックさんがリサーチした、本の数々がここに書いてあります。So there's a lot of books, and it's backwards. But there's a lot of Japanese books about war and different weapons and Japanese archery that Eric has researched and included in here. So there's like, okay, let's go this part. English and Japanese. And there's like parts of like densho, which is like the instruction manuals for archery schools and this kind of thing. So 日本語英語の本になってて、うちねっていう本を Amazon で買える。So it's for sale on Amazon and I bought it. It was like maybe $10. And this is the first book that I bought from Eric. And then I realized he had translated like a million other books in English into English. All these books that I wanted so bad about like shuriken and ninjutsu and like everything that you could think of, like old style martial arts, he's translated everything. So the guy is like awesome. You need to check out. So if you search for Uchine on Amazon, his name will come up, and if you just click on his name, you'll see all the books that he's like published. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Uchine. So I did a little bit of research. Where is my research about Uchine? So we'll have a little talk about it. So, Uchine. 箱の中に入ってた Uchine です。So this is Uchine. And it is a throwing weapon. A throwing weapon, and it's like a short, thick arrow. As you can see, like the shaft is made of bamboo. It's reasonably heavy. I'll weigh this later and measure it. When I do an Instagram post, I'll post everything. その重さとか長さとか後で測りますので、インスタグラムを投稿する際に書きますので。So according to Eric's book, the Uchine was, there's like differing theories about who invented it, and one of the inventors is supposed to be Hekidanjo, who was a really famous archer who lived in the Muromachi period. So from 1444 to 1502. So 平気男女がこれ作ったっていう説もあるんですけど、also they say that it just started in the Keicho era. Keicho 時代に始まったりしてる。And when you're talking about the Keicho era in Japan, it is the beginning of the age of Oda Nobunaga and Toyotomi Hideyoshi. So it's quite like there's a big shift in Japan happening at that time, and this was one of the weapons that they used supposedly. So at the time, samurai would ride in a kago. So let me find a picture of a kago. It's like a little traveling basket, like a little cabin, and guys would be, it's like a jinriksha but with 4 guys. And so this cabin is very like, it's quite small, and just here. So this is called a kago. And you'd have samurai traveling in there, and they couldn't fit spears, tachi, they're big swords, they couldn't fit bows, so they're gonna get ambushed. They wanted a weapon that they could keep with them, that they could use for means of personal protection. So that's one of the theories behind where it started to be used, which was in the kago, in this little traveling box that people used to carry with the samurai inside. Okay, so let me just have a drink. ごめんなさい、全部英語になっちゃった。ごめんなさい。I would never have guessed the answer, so I'm learning new stuff. Well, that's good to know. Thank you so much, Jim. Okay, so as I mentioned, it's used for stabbing and throwing. And many of the books that Eric researched, they said it's similar to a shuriken. So if you know, I put my shuriken away. Maybe. That's a plastic one, but yeah, so shuriken, one of the reasons for using shuriken is mitsubushi, which is just to blindly strike somebody and to like give them a fright, or to temporarily take the focus off you, and then you jump in while they're surprised, right? So this is the same kind of thing, a temporary distraction while you start the next round of attack or what you're going to do. So a lot of people said the usage was similar to shuriken in the books that Eric Shahan researched. So そのタイミング的にいつ使うのかっていうの、手裏剣と似てて、目つぶしっていうか、こうお相手一時的にこう驚かせてから、また違う感じで叩かれるっていう感じですかね。説明が難しいんだよね。So I can explain it in English, but not very well in Japanese. But it's for distracting your enemy. It was for one thing. Okay. And another kind of interesting one is when samurai were walking along and they would see like a dark area in the bush, they thought that it's a possible place for them to be ambushed. So what they do is, because it's got a cord here, you hold the end of the cord, you throw it into the bush, and if there happens to be anybody in there, it's going to give them a fright, and they'll jump out, or you'll have some movement or some sounds. So it was a good way to like throwing something sharp in there, like if someone got hit, they'll be like, you'd hear them straight away, right? So it was a good way to find out if there are any points of ambush as you're walking along. You can like throw it into random places and find out if you have people hiding in there waiting to ambush you, which I thought was kind of cool. And then traditionally this string is from a koto, which is a Japanese harp, and they used koto traditionally depending on the type, the ryuha or the school of archery, or which area they lived in Japan. So today I just have a normal cord because I'm going to be doing some throwing with it whenever I can. I can't use this at the park. So 公園ではね、これ練習できないんですけど、ちょっとね、人がいないとこでじゃないとダメですね。So I have to find somewhere where there's nobody around, otherwise I'm going to get in trouble. Anyway, so the cord used to be koto, string, and usually made of bamboo. The shaft is bamboo or wood, which I thought was quite interesting. So wood, as you can imagine, is it's got quite a heavy feel to it. Bamboo, you know, the inside is hollow. So I can imagine wood would be much more like it could hit stuff, and there'd be a lot more power behind the throw if you're throwing it into somebody's armor. And then, yeah, the blade was this part here. It's called te yari. So they used small handheld yari, which is a spear, blade, and popped it inside the shaft or put it inside the wood. So you have like what looks like a massive arrow is actually a handheld spear or a throwing spear, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, so the book is like giving me so much great information. I'm going to be talking for like 500 years. I'm so sorry. So yeah, about 45 to 60 centimeters long. I'm not sure how many inches that is. And then the name Uchine. So utsu means to like strike, utsu. And ne means root, like the root of a tree or a root vegetable. So this is supposedly the shape of a root. So you have Uchine. It's one name that it's called by, but of course, you know, depending on the area that you live in, they have different names. So they have nageya. So this is ya is arrow, and nage is to throw. So a throwing arrow. Tetsukiya. So a hand arrow as well. So tetsukiya toka nageya toka, depending on which school of archery you talk to, there are different names. But yeah, I'm going to call it Uchine, and the book is called Uchine as well. But Uchine, I think everybody knows. The feathers, some people say it's to help balance the flight when you're throwing it, and then you know you're going to reel it back in with your cord after you've thrown it. Some people say to help the balance in flight. However, other Uchine, they don't have any feathers at all. It's just a stick, the shaft, and the blade. So it's interesting. It depends on which area of Japan the Uchine comes from. And let me see. One thing which somebody asked me about, よく聞かれるんですけど、このUchineを弓にかけて弓から飛ばしたりするんですかっていうのは聞かれたんですけど、supposedly we don't put this on a bow and like try to shoot it. This is strictly for throwing and stabbing and this kind of thing, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then the last super interesting thing, 平気流の伝承にも書かれてあるんですけど、矢が使い終わった後に、after you've run out of your arrows, the samurai run out of the arrows, the arrow string broke, the bow string broke, sorry, they would put this on the end of their bow with their arrow string, or the string that's attached to the end. They wrap it around their bow. この弓が、つるが切れたら、矢がなくなったら、弓の先にUchineをこの紐で取り付けて槍になるんですよね。So I thought that was so cool. So they will wind the string or the rope onto the end of the bow and make a big spear. So that's one other use for it. And that's kind of like the most famous use for me. And in the case where they use the yumi, the bow, and the Uchine together, it's called koshirae yumi, which is like changing the yumi to be used for a different use. So in war, I mean, yumi can be used for a lot of things. It's a long piece of bamboo. So, I mean, you can defend yourself with that if you need to. But, I mean, imagine having this tied onto the end. That would be so cool. Okay, so that's my great information that I found out about Uchine. So let me just go back because I saw somebody write comments. Anyway, 箱の中にね、Uchineが入ってた。私のUchineです。So 歯がこんな感じ。It's good to have Japanese in there sometimes. I think Japanese people are watching, they have no idea probably what I'm saying. 英語が早いしでごめんなさいね。ちょっと置いとく。So I'm gonna just put it up here. My man, I'm just gonna like, it's gonna stand up, I don't know. Aye. Okay, and I'm just gonna look at my phone, and if you have any questions or anything, please write them out in the chat. So, I'm using YouTube on my phone, but it won't let me see the chat. Come on. But anyway, there are 13 people watching. Thank you so much. Okay. Oh, Shogo-san, you're watching. Thank you so much. So actually, today's live, the reason why I'm trying YouTube live today is because Shogo-san from Ask Shogo, if you're not subscribed to him, go and check his channel because he has amazing content. He said, oh, you're going to do a YouTube live. So I was like, oh no, I think I will do Instagram. But then I was like, hold on. What is the reason for me never doing like YouTube live? And yeah, so today I tried something new, and my background looks weird and the phone is around the wrong way for me, but it's nice to try something different, and I think YouTube live is quite cool. So I'm gonna try to do YouTube live regularly. I wanted to say thank you to Shogo-san for suggesting it to me. So ありがとうね、Shogo-san。Shogoさん嬉しいね。すごいいいサジェスチョンの。自分でなんかやっぱ考えたことがないな。いつもインスタグラムばっかりで。So I'm really happy to have that suggestion from Shogo-san. So I just want to say thank you. And okay, let me just have a look at the questions. So yes, I'm a new subscriber. Thank you so much, Kyler. Yes, I should post more. I should post more content. I need more watch hours and more subscribers before I can unlock many fun things for YouTube. So I'll do my best anyway. And yeah, so if you're just joining us now, I've just opened the box. Not just, I opened the box about 15 minutes ago. Sorry. And inside was my Uchine, which is also known as teiyari, or a throwing arrow, and there's a cord connected on, so you can throw it at people and you can pull it back, and it's used for many different things. And I will do an Instagram post on it. Can you explain how is the difference between Japanese traditional saddles and Western saddles? That is something I should do an Instagram post on. How about next time I go to practice, I'll take some video and some photos. But saddles, just really quickly. Saddles, I'll keep holding it. It's dangerous to put it there. Saddles, just really quickly, are called kura in Japanese. So kura is the name of the saddle, and actually I have a really great book here which I was going to talk to you guys about. So it's nice that I can talk about kura really quickly. So if you're not interested in horse riding, Japanese horse riding and saddles, just forgive me for a moment. But I'll just show you this wonderful diagram. It's going to be backwards. So this is a diagram of a Japanese saddle. So Japanese saddles are made of wood. So somebody said, what's the difference between a Western saddle and a Japanese saddle? The saddle is made of wood. And there are approximately 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the pieces are held together by hemp rope. And the reason for these 4 pieces is so that when the rider is riding, there's a certain amount of movement. They slot together. There's a certain amount of movement and flexibility that this kind of saddle gives. So it's made for Japanese horses, which have a different spine structure to Western and other horses. So I'll talk about this in more detail as I learn more myself. However, this book is very helpful for me. But yeah, the main difference is the material that it's made of is one of the really big differences that I noticed. Also the shape. So let's have a look here. Here's a color picture. Wow. And wood, and a leather piece on the top. Aori, this is leather here. And the straps that connect are called sangai. And they are woven. Traditionally, they're woven. So you have wood, some pieces of leather, and woven pieces that connect the saddle to the horse. This is kind of a good one as well. Here. So this is the wooden saddle. Just the shape overall, it's very different to a Western saddle. ごめんなさい、英語ばっかりで申し訳ないです。日本の蔵と外国の蔵の違い。How many uchine would normally be carried? This is a new weapon to me. As far as I know, 1 or 2. The ukiyo-e, the pictures that I've seen, the illustrations and drawings, which sometimes have a tendency to be a little bit fictional, they have 1. So it was just a standard carried weapon. You have a cover usually. It wouldn't be carried blade. It wouldn't be carried blade out. The blade gets covered up, and then you can stick it in your obi. So it would be like in an obi, similar to having your tachi. You'd have it in there on the opposite side. You'd use it. You'd have it like next to you while you're shooting. You have it in your hands, and you'd be using your bow and arrow is what I've heard as well, depending on the circumstance. So just 1 as far as I heard. And of course everybody made them themselves, which is kind of cool to think about now. So yeah, but yeah, going back to the kura and sports yabusame and the differences in riding and that kind of thing, I'll try to do a post on it. It's something that I've been meaning to post about. However, it's difficult to get good quality photos of the equipment. I have my own そのバグなんですけど、in we call horse tack. In Japanese, we call it bag. So there are. Where is my picture? Here. This one here. So these are the stirrups. So I have my own set of stirrups, and they're at the place where I practice. And so these are made of tetsu. These are made of iron. And they're very, very heavy, but very stable. So I don't have my own kura yet, unfortunately, because nobody really makes them anymore. So these items are antique usually. And as you can imagine, antiques, even in Japan, are quite expensive. I managed to get, I did post about these ones on my Instagram. そうそう。ちょっとここの投稿はしましたけど。So I did post about it. But yeah, anyway, I will try to post in the future. There are so many things I want to introduce and post about on my Instagram. But it's just a matter of researching properly. ちゃんとね、お勉強して上で皆さんに発信したい。So I'd like to research before I show you things and information to make sure it's correct, because I don't want to teach you anything wrong. Or any like weird information. So I'd rather be like taking a little bit longer than normal and making sure my information is correct. Okay, I think that pretty much sums up my live for today. So inside the box was Uchine, and here is the book, which I recommend in English and Japanese. この本がね、すごく好きです。あ、そっか。Okay, I just remembered. It has techniques on how to use it. Okay, so this is like the most important part. I just about forgot. まあ一番大事なとこはね、it has the techniques in English and Japanese for using the uchine. Like the names for the different kata is all written in here. This is the reason why I bought the book. It's like a instruction manual on the uchine. So yeah, that was just like, this is cool. So I'm gonna try to make videos and stuff of me using it. Okay, we have a really beautiful letter opener. No, it's not a letter opener. You're so funny. Oh my gosh. 日本語でなんていうのこれ。手紙を開く道具。きれいな手紙を開く道具ですね。違うって。 This is a Uchine, not a letter opener. You're so naughty. Oh, you're lucky I'm behind the screen, not sitting next to you. Okay. Can you explain how the difference is? How many Uchine? The saddle tree is not much different from the Australian saddle. Yeah, I mean, I've ridden in New Zealand and I've used Australian, New Zealand saddles as well, like leather ones. But the whole weight is very, very different. Like they're so light because it's just 4 pieces of wood. And then all these other parts that go on the sides, the Audi and the top part and everything. Yes, they weigh more and they're made of leather, but it's not like a solid leather saddle. So the weight, I think, is quite different on the horse's back compared to a Western saddle. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. If anybody else has questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to do one last thing. I want to show you these beautiful postcards that I found. They're antique postcards. And I got them from Yahoo auction. So in the past I have posted about Yokyu, the very small Japanese bow. Yokyu の話は以前しましたけど、これはね、ちょっと見えないかな。So this is inside the yaba. You can see women in kimono here. And they are doing yokyu. So they've got their tiny little bow here. Sorry, my bony fingers. And someone is cleaning up the arrows here. So this is a woman who's collecting the arrows. So you can see these artisans, this beautiful woman in kimono and nihongami. They're beautiful Japanese hair. They are playing with the yokyu. And then, I got a question. Thank you. I will answer that in a minute. And then this one, when is this from? It has no date on it. It has no date. Let's just make it so we can see correctly. Can you see? There are 3 women and they're practicing kyudo with their beautiful nihongami. And it's interesting because there's only one target. So I'm like, is everybody aiming for the same target, or is this just for a photo, or? But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. So I got these nice antique postcards. They're so beautiful. They are my treasures. So I will look after them. Okay, so there is one question that I will answer, and then I will go. Maybe off topic. Oh, Shogo-san asked the question. Thank you so much. Maybe off topic, but what's the biggest struggle you overcame so far through your kyudo training? That's a really good question and a difficult question, Shogo-san. Thank you. I don't know how to answer. The biggest difficulty, 一番こう乗り越えなきゃいけない弓道を始めることにあたって一番こう壁感じてたとこ。I found it so difficult to start kyudo. So this is a very interesting, and one of the things I'm very passionate about is helping others to start. With other martial arts, it seems to be relatively easy. You can look on the internet. There are posts on community boards for things like karate, iaido, battodo, judo, and this kind of martial arts. It seems to be quite easy to find groups that are looking for members. But kyudo is so tricky, and the reason why it's so difficult to start kyudo, or I found it difficult to start kyudo, was because the kyudo beginners classes, you must join it to be able to start kyudo. They'll teach you the basics. They only hold this beginners class once a year. This is standard for Nihon Kyudo Renmei, so Japanese style of, Zen Nihon Kyudo. So All Japan Kyudo Federation, they only hold their beginners courses once a year. And this is the reason why is because the teachers are volunteers. So it's a manpower issue, I think. And there is huge demand. many people want to start kyudo, but they only hold the courses once a year just to keep the flow of people regulated, is my assumption. So, okay, you found out when the course is going to be, or in my case, I found out. And then you have, for 10 spaces for this beginner's course, you have 150 applicants. So in my dojo recently, this is what's happened. In Saitama, in Urawa, where I practice, we recently advertised, would you like to learn kyudo? So we've started the kyudo course. Please apply by this date. And so we had about 150 applicants and only 15 spaces. So we had to do like a lottery. We had to choose names from a hat. So for me, finding the information and actually finding a beginner's course that was starting at the right time and then being accepted into this beginner's course was the biggest hurdle for me and the biggest difficult part of starting kyudo and learning kyudo. After I started, it was very straightforward, not really easy, but it was so much fun and I loved and enjoyed every minute of it. So that's just to answer your question in a very long roundabout kind of way. Shogo-san, thank you for your question. 日本語訳しようかな。それすごい長かったね。Yeah, basically getting started in kyudo is the hardest part. Once you've started, I think it's very straightforward and you'll enjoy your days learning kyudo. So ショゴさんが今聞いた質問なんですけど、こう壁を感じてた、何が難しかった、kyudoを始めるになんか難しいこと。A difficult thing for you when you're learning kyudo, starting kyudo. So 自分の壁を感じてたのは、そのkyudoの世界の入り口が全く見つからず、ネットで探してても調べててもあんまり情報が出てこない。区役所に行ってても皆さん弓道場よくわかんないですっていう情報がほとんどなくて、で調べてみたら弓道教室 beginner's course その弓道教室に必ず流れなければいけない。弓道コースの beginners 初心者教室に入るのに年に一度しかないっていうがすごい大きな一つで、じゃあ1年ちょうど締め切りの前に申し込んで手続きを済ませて、じゃあスタートだねっていう思うでしょ。でも実はその申し込み希望者が150人に対する初心者教室の空いてる席が15名のみなんですよね。なので150名と15名合わないんですよね。なので希望者がとっても多くて全員受けていられないっていうのはすごくね、始まりたい、弓引きたいのに始められないで、自分もそうでしたけどいろんな方もそうです。So this is one big thing for me. I get really passionate about it, as you can tell. I can't stop talking about wanting to help people start kyudo, and that's one of the reasons why, together with my senpai, I set up Yumi and Zen, which is a place where anybody can just come. There is a bit of a waiting list at the moment, but our dojo practices are every week, and if you want to just try kyudo, you can come along, try once, that's fine, you don't have to join, and take photos and videos and make it a fun experience. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to set up something as an option for that time where the people who, one, they didn't get accepted to their kyudo course in their area, or they missed the cutoff date for that once a year. So yeah, I'm trying to think of other ways that perhaps more people can start kyudo. So I'm thinking of all these ideas, and yeah, that's just one of the things I'm very passionate about. So ちょっとね、長くなってしまったんですけど、もうちょっとしたら1時間でずっと喋ってしまった。But thank you, Shogo-san, because that was a very good question, and I'm not sure if you're watching anymore. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, that was a very long-winded answer, but anyway, okay, I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me today. 皆さん見てくれてありがとうございます。ほとんど英語でしたので、申し訳ないです。すいません。英語がどんどん上手になるから嬉しい。I get to speak English, which is really cool. Because usually I'm just speaking Japanese. そう。箱の中はこちらでした。Let's open it up. Uchine でした。So this is the uchine that got delivered that I ordered. Uchine です。Uchine. And so we talked about uchine today. Thank you so much for watching and listening to my like personal information at the start of the video. I was having kind of a sad day and a sad week, but I had happy things happen today, and I got to share my uchine today with you and my uchine book by Eric Shahan. Please check it out on Amazon if you're interested. Thank you for joining me. Oh, thank you so much, Shogo-san. Thank you. Yes, thanks to you. I'm going to try again YouTube Live. I'll try it one more time. Thank you so much. YouTube Live was really fun. I'm going to organize my background a little bit better next time. And yeah, I hope we can discuss when I have other things to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me. Already finishing. Yes, I'm sorry. It's been going for 1 hour. Thank you. You just joined, huh? I'm so sorry. Yes, thank you so much. And I will talk to everybody again. 皆さん、良い週末をお過ごしください。台風が来るらしいので、皆さんお気をつけて。So typhoon's coming to Japan. Please take care and have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.